Got him!
Hey guys, today I'll be bringing a new series to the channel called the Future Meta Builds video. You guys have seen earlier I had like future builds for like future how to prepare for like specific classes. I did one for pretty much every single class except Assassin, so I thought this time around for this special series I'll go ahead and do Assassin first. So basically what this series is, I'll be talking about the with the upcoming new weapon series and whatnot. What is the best builds to go for each classes. So we starting off with Assassin first. I'm only covering up to a few tier 4 weapons and up to prison for this one, so not too far out there. There are newer series in the Japanese version as of right now, but I won't go ahead and cover that one. So we'll stick up to prison. Maybe Zeus. I think I'll do Zeus as well, so to give you guys a good understanding of how the series will go. Alright, so I'll be doing Assassin first. So you guys are aware that once Dual Blades came out, that this was the best build at the time. So we'll call this like the Dual Blades series meta. So this was very old. This was probably like 4 or 5 months old. I can't remember how much, but we'll call this the Dual Blade introduction meta. So you guys are already aware of this. This was like the go-to back in the day. Basically, this is what I use. Well, we had Eclipse, but you guys know what I'm getting at. I'm not using Berserk right now. I'm using Eclipse, but this is basically the same thing. This was like the bread and butter for all assassin builds. Very simple, very easy to use. This was the go-to back in the day. So once Athena got introduced, we'll call this the Athena meta. This is not much of a difference between the Osiris and Athena. You basically get 2 more stacks on top of this. You do get HP fill and EP fill, but in team play, that doesn't really matter for that specifically. But having that +2 extra helps with these stacks in particular. And so, somewhere right here, this is where the Goddess meta is. We'll call this the Goddess meta. And this basically is the one I'll be sticking for a very long time into the game. This is the one that everyone's going to be using for a very long time. This is also the introduction of damage medals as well. I don't have one available as of right now, but you guys are already aware that like Dark Joe, that dark medal you got from that fight is the best dark medal you'll have in the game. Odin is for light and pentagrams for the other 4 elements, so those are the go-to for this, and this is going to be the best. This is probably as of right now the best build you can possibly have for any element. Just replace Yasha. I use Yasha specifically. You can replace this with Mythics. Basically the same thing. It's just that the Yasha is a little bit faster. That's why I think it's a little bit better as of right now. So we'll call this the Prison Goddess meta. This will be the next one. Same thing as Yasha or Mythics. However, now all classes are equalized because as of right now we have a discrepancy between light and dark with the other 4 elements. So light and dark, they have Yasha with heroic skills, basically 200% damage limits as compared to their counterparts, the Mythic series. However, their animation is very short. That's why this, as of right now, light and dark are the best, specifically dark because of that dark Kelpie metal in the game as of right now. So once Prison comes out, everything will be equalized. You just spam all 4 dual blades and you get immense of stacks. And this is where assassins start becoming stacking DPS. They're not hardcore DPS. They're called stacking DPS. So this will be like the go-to. As of right now, this is the standard build for assassins in Japanese version. Not until later versions in the tier 4 meta, which we're in right now, this is the go-to for all assassins back in the day. So if you can't go to this build, I'll think at least 3 at this point right here. Once you enter the Goddess and Prison meta, you want at least 3 dual blades. Any of these combinations could work. Like 1 Prison, 2 Goddess, 2 Prison, 1 Goddess. Anything that's perfectly fine. You just want to have this right here. So once Zeus is the newer series added to the game for Japanese. It's about 7 months old now, and it's basically plus 12 stacks for 5 uses. We can change that. Heroic, you can get up to plus 15 stacks, and Legendary, you can basically change the EP reduction from like 4 to like 1 if you scale it up really high. So no Zeus meta. Zeus not really good for assassins. So basically once Zeus comes, this is still the go-to right here, the prison and goddess build. So this is where the last two is gonna be little special cases. These are the tier 4 weapons for assassins and sword princesses. You can bring them if you guys want to. I know once Izanami drops into the game, I'm pretty sure everyone will be going for it. But just be aware, guys, that tier 4s aren't common until later on into the game. And as of right now, Izanami is one of the lowest tier tier 4 weapons because it only gives plus 50 stacks and a couple like other buffs and whatnot, but in my opinion it's not really worth it in like long fights, especially once if you get hit by an extinction wave, this buff is gone by itself, so it's only a one-time use. So this is the Izanami build. You can use this, guys. It's pretty good if you don't Izanami build if there's no extinction waves. If there is an extinction wave, you can go ahead and bring this. This will bring a lot of stacks to the table. Specifically, I replaced Goddess because if you have 2 prisons, they'll always be up if they're legendary, and you can just spam some. So this is your bread and butter for DPS right here. This Goddess is just adding extra stacks if you like to have it into the build. Zerk is obvious damage limit. Izanami will grant 50 stacks, so you just use this one time at the beginning of the fight, and you're basically hitting like 50 stacks instantly off the fight in 1 minute, and you're probably at like 100 stacks for an assassin, which is pretty good. So this is the Kamui, the newest assassin tier 4. Actually, no, that's a Monster Hunter one. But basically, once Kamui is added into the game, you can replace your last goddess with Kamui. Again, I'm not an assassin professional, guys. You could probably replace one prison as well with Kamui. However, I think this is pretty good because this grants damage limit, and of course you want damage limit to be added onto the stacks of Berserk. But since Kamui grants damage limit itself, and you're probably bringing this into a non-extinction wave fight, just go ahead and pop both of these. This brings cooldown reduction and damage limit. This grants the stacks, so these together, if it's a non-extinction wave fight, this right here will do a lot of damage. And this basically will make assassins look really good on paper in non-extinction wave fights. So that's all I want to cover, guys. A little short video talking about upcoming builds and how to go about doing them. As of right now, I think the best build we have is right here, the Goddess meta. We have a couple ways to go. Not much changes. Berserk stays the same. Prison series is the go-to. There are newer series added into the game, but I'm not going to talk about those as of yet. And just let you guys know once Izanami and Kamui drops, how to go about using them, and what the best build is to go about handling those weapons if you do get them, which is very rare. So thank y'all for watching. I'll do more of these for all the classes. There's 4 more left I want to cover, so just stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces, everyone.